Hey everybody, this is William from the Godzilla Files, coming at you today with my first ever collection video, and today we're going to be looking at my X Plus figures. I haven't been collecting X Plus for too long, maybe about 2 years now, and they are some of the best Godzilla figures I've ever gotten. Pretty expensive, or at least some of them can be, but you know, definitely worth it at the end of the day. So why don't we jump right in and see what I got. Alright guys, so I'm going to start here on the top shelf. This is my Showa collection of X Plus figures, and the first one I'm going to look at here is Gigan from Godzilla vs. Gigan. He is my favorite kaiju from the whole entire Godzilla series, so he definitely was one of my quick pickups, especially in the beginning. I had to have him. He was definitely the reason why I got into X Plus in the first place. Then next to him I have the King Ghidorah. And this guy is truly amazing. If you don't have him or have never been able to see him up close and personal, please do. He is stunning and one of my favorite X Plus figures. I guess maybe the only issue is if you look up top, he does not have a lot of room here. So if you get him, these wings are really tall. So just be prepared to have enough, space so that you can put him up somewhere. He doesn't fit in between the shelves, so I had to put him on top. And then I have Mechagodzilla. This is one of the standard releases that I actually wish I went Rick on. This is from Terror of Mechagodzilla, and I would have loved to have the little head, the little brain head that's on that comes with him. But still, he is a great looking X Plus figure. Alright, on the second shelf here, and as you can kind of see, I have like little guys of each one. Most of these are Veronica's, and I'm not going to talk too much about them because she would kill me because she wants to do a review on these guys herself. Alright, so down the second shelf, you're going to see here my Showa Godzillas, and the first one is Godzilla from King Kong vs. Godzilla. One of my favorite suits. He was a definite pickup. If you can find him for a good price, I strongly recommend it, but I know he's hard to come by. The next one is my favorite suit. This is the best suit from the whole entire Godzilla series, Showa-wise anyway, and this is from Mothra vs. Godzilla. Such a great design. He looks like he just came out of the film himself. If you can kind of tell back here, the tail is probably the only issue. It is very long, but not as bad as some of the other tails that I have from some of my other figures. So, great guy, would recommend picking him up as well. And then here is Godzilla from Destroy All Monsters. This is the perfect hero version of Godzilla. This is probably the look that a lot of people think about. Turn around here just a little bit. You can kind of see him here, long straight tail. But this is the look that I think everyone pictures when you talk about Godzilla from the Showa period. So I definitely had to pick him up. Most of these guys I've actually gotten from the X Plus group. So if you guys see one that you might have given to me at one point, thank you very much. As always, these are some great guys. And now on the next shelf, I have one of the few 25 centimeter large monster series figures that I have, and Hedorah is probably one of the best ones. I love this design. Hedorah was never one of my favorites, but this figure really stands out, and I truly do like it a lot. I think it's even better than the 30 centimeter. All right, next to him is Titanosaurus. Titanosaurus is actually the second figure I've ever gotten, and he's one of my favorites. Titanosaurus has always been one of my favorite kaijus, so getting a figure of him was a must, and it's truly a beautiful figure. As you can kind of see, the designs on his arm here and also his legs. Alright, next up is Kamacuras, and this guy here is one of my favorite ones, only because of the fact that when I was a kid I really liked praying mantises, and having a giant kaiju-sized mantis was pretty cool, so I had to pick him up as well. Great little figure. Did not go with the Rick where you get 3 of these guys, but just went with one. Felt like that's all I really needed in this collection. And you definitely need to keep the stand. Unfortunately, he does not stand on his own. Alright, next up is Godzilla's allies, and you can see here Anguirus. Probably the better version comparatively to the 25 centimeter. The 30 just seems to work a lot better. I've seen the 25 and I don't know, there's something about it I just don't think really works. So this is probably the best version. I have Minya in the back. I have Rodan chilling all the way in the back, being propped up by probably 2 or 3 different figures, because he leans forward and then drunkenly falls off the shelf if I don't. So he's in the back there. Gorosaurus, as you can see here, has such a long tail that it goes all the way behind my TV. I don't know how far it goes back, to be honest with you. But this is a great figure as well. I love Gorosaurus. I really wish we'd see more of him. I feel like he could fit in perfectly with the Monsterverse in some way. Maybe in the comic book or, some kind of novel, something. I just think he would work great. And then I have this Mothra here. I actually got this Mothra from a Canadian comic book store who was selling her for $89. From what I understand, she's pretty rare. She's from the original Mothra film, and I'm actually really happy to have her. And down here, sharing the shelf, I have Godzilla from Terror Mechagodzilla. I know he's so dark that on the bottom shelf he's kind of hard to see. And then I also have Gabra, my other 25 centimeter, who I'm not in love with because I just think the height difference is she just doesn't scale well with my other figures. But detail wise, he does look great, and I would recommend picking him up if you needed him for your 25 centimeter line. Alright, on my second shelf here, I have the Legendary Godzilla. This is the new reissue, with the Muto head. Probably, one of the better extras for the figure. Love it. So detailed. Really great looking. I'm really happy I waited for this new reissue. I'll put that back up later because that can sometimes be difficult. Just love the blue and how it, contrasts the such dark skin of this Godzilla. Really, really great figure. If you can get him, I would strongly recommend. I think he'd be perfect for your Legendary setup. And then also here I have the Rick exclusive, form of Destroya. So this was given to me by someone in the Facebook group, and I gotta say thank you for it, along with the Destroya. One of my prized possessions here is this guy. Yes, he's not X+, but I've always seen people have him, and I felt like if I wanted to be considered a true collector, as weird as that sounds, I wanted to have this figure. And even better, I was able to have it signed, or get it signed, I should say, and it's one of my prized possessions. Something that I'll never be selling, put it that way. Alright, and now we are in the Heisei period, and we have some 3 massive figures here. The first one is Mechagodzilla. He just got reissued and should be out now, and I strongly recommend picking him up. He looks great, and just the size of him, is so perfect. He was supposed to be a walking tank, and this figure really shows that, and you really feel that from this figure. And then we have the devil himself, in kaiju form anyway, Destroya, and another figure that I think will be being reissued pretty soon. Jump on him because he can get very expensive in the secondary markets. I got him for a good deal. Again, this was a Rick Boy exclusive version, so it came with him and also this little guy, but I love him. Such great amount of detail. And finally, my favorite Heisei Godzilla, Godzilla 91. This is from Yuji Sakai. This was my first figure from him, and it wasn't my last, as you'll see as we continue this. Yuji Sakai's figures look amazing, and it's really hard to kind of explain it to people who have never seen these or doesn't have them, but there's just something more about them. They have just, I guess, extra detail. I'm not really sure what it is. It might be just a long tail, but it just looks great, and in every angle, he truly is a stunning piece. Probably the one Heisei figure for Godzilla that I would recommend. Alright, and we're going down now. Say hello to the little guys there. And then say hello to my favorite kaiju from the Heisei period, Biollante. She's from my favorite film, and I knew I had to have a figure of her. The amount of detail on this X Plus figure is truly stunning. For, a figure that's so big, you wouldn't expect this much detail, but somehow X Plus did it, and you can't go wrong with her. I would strongly recommend, if you're looking for a Biollante, this is the one you go with. If they ever come out with a Rose, I'll be picking that up real fast. And now we have SpaceGodzilla and Batra. Love the Batra look. I was never a big fan of Batra, but after seeing this figure, it's sort of like Hedorah. You really truly fall in love with the design because of this figure. And you can just see here the amount of detail that they have on here. And if you want to know more, I did a review on him fairly recently, and truly just a great figure. And now I have SpaceGodzilla here. SpaceGodzilla was one of my, I would say, my first 3 figures ever, and couldn't go wrong with him. He might not be everyone's favorite, or at least from their favorite film, but design-wise, he is pretty cool looking, no matter what. Long tail though. I guess you're probably used to me saying that by now. And finally, we have the Millennium series, which isn't my favorite, but I do have some figures here that I really liked, and let's just kind of look at them real quick. Alright, I have right here Gigan, my favorite, so he definitely had to be here. Kiru, which is a great design of Mechagodzilla. I know they just released a couple of different ones, so you can definitely pick them up fairly cheap and easily at this point. We have the Yuji Sakai GMK Godzilla, and this is the best GMK Godzilla that you can get. He is horrifying looking, but yet beautiful all at the same time. Scale wise, I think he fits pretty well with all the other GMK figures. And finally, we have the Godzilla from Tokyo SOS, and this guy was something I found pretty early on my adventure of collecting. and I got lucky because this guy can go for a pretty big price. I was able to get him for half that, and I definitely would say he's worth it because it's a great looking figure and a great Godzilla for the Millennium series, or at least a representation of the Millennium series. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed this look at my collection. Let me know in the comments below what are some of your favorite X Plus figures if you have them, and if you're looking to be getting any new ones this year as well. But as always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.